Okay, welcome everybody to another edition of You, Me, and EFT, the March 12th edition. I would like to start off by plugging the EFT group that I'm involved with. Let me pull that information up for you. It's called the Woodlands EFT Tappers. The website is grouptapping.com. We tap on Wednesday mornings at 9:30 in the Woodlands, Texas, if you're ever in the area. Also on Tuesday evenings, there is a Skype session if you're not in the area. That's Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And like I say, I'm a member there. And I will post the link. It's probably somewhere in the comments. The comments works good for me when I do it that way. Okay. The other thing I want to do while we're waiting for guests is I want to share about two more books from my personal library. The first one is called The Encyclopedia of Energy Medicine, and it's published by Fairview Press. And there's a lot of authors in here. But basically it covers most of the, well, almost all the modalities that would be considered energy medicine, EFT being one. The first two are acupressure and acupuncture. Those are the granddaddies in energy medicine. Everything seems to be either based off those or related to those in some form or fashion. It goes down through pranic healing, reflexology, Reiki, the topless acupressure technique, thought field therapy, touch for health, all these types of things that are precursors of EFT. So that's the very, very first book. It was published. It was published in 2010, so it's still fairly up to date. The second book I want to talk to you about tonight is published in 2000 by Fred Gallo and Harry Vincenzi. I probably slaughtered his name. But it was written, like I say, in 2000, and their tapping methods, like they say, they go through anxiety, depression, cravings, and other things. You can either even help you lose weight, which is also what EFT can do. So this is a type of meridian tapping, EFT being another type of meridian tapping. So those are my two books. I want to open up the chat. If I can open up the chat. Okay, now the chat is open, so people can chat to me and ask questions. I was thinking about doing my Twitter, but that would probably be just too much. And if I get no guests or visitors or viewers, then I'm going to sign off in 30 minutes because I hate doing straight lecture. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to do any music tonight because I got in trouble for that kind of a little bit last week. Seems that if you want to use music, you have to either get generic music or get permission to use music or whatever, you know, which is not conducive to tapping. If you want to tap along with your favorite songs, which I still recommend. You know, just in order to feel good. We can tap, like the two books were saying, we can tap to get well, but we can also tap just to feel better. We can tap to become more creative or whatever. So it's just, tapping is not just for sick people, it's for everybody. So And I thought we would just do some simple tapping and just do some simple tapping and maybe tap on all the points with affirmation. And what kind of affirmation shall we use? I don't know what. Let's use the classic affirmation, one from Dr. Emile Coué, who was very, very popular in France in the last century. His affirmation, I find, is very, very good. And we'll start from the top and we'll work our way down. I'm going to include reflexology, like I always do, which is also referenced in the Encyclopedia of Energy Medicine, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, well, we're going to start with the karate chop point. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Every day, in every way, I am better and better. Peace. Okay. Still no viewers. There's another technique. When we did both in our study group meeting, which was Tuesday, we were working on a preliminary set of guidelines to certify people in EFT through our group. And one of the things that came up was you can tap and tell the story. If something's bothering you and you don't really know where to start, you can just start by telling the story. And there's a lot of stuff going on this week that has bothered me. I've been told that I shouldn't really watch the news, and maybe I should cut back on watching the news, but I'm not going to put my head in the sand. I believe that we should be current in knowing what's going on around us. And also, there are problems in society. You don't correct them by burying your head in the sand. Do you notice a little outside noise and a little nervousness in me? It's because we have house guests tonight that I didn't plan on having. So, but thank you, universe. Okay. So, telling the story while people cuss in the background. Okay. I guess I'm a little upset about what's going on at the University of Oklahoma, the fraternities and everything. And I went to the University of Georgia, and we had some fraternities there. And sadly, I don't have a lot of happy stories about those fraternities. I have mostly uh, sad stories or negative stories. One concerns eating in a cafeteria. I went to the cafeteria and sat down at a table. I didn't know that it was a fraternity table. Well, only one of the guys there would actually talk to me, and the others just kind of ignored me. And so I didn't make the mistake of sitting at that table anymore. And it made me wonder, what is a fraternity? Is it a fraternity of I don't know, arrogant people, people that just think they're better than everybody else? Another story that I have is that there was a cute girl in my history class, and we used to walk down the hill past a psychology pavilion, and some days I would walk with her, and some days I wouldn't walk with her. And the days that I would walk with her, there's always 2 or 3 guys that would come up to her and talk to her or whatever. But the days I wouldn't walk with her, uh, nobody would come and talk to her. And I found out later on that she was a member of a sorority, and the guys that would talk to her were frat guys, and they didn't like it that she would be talking to someone that wasn't a frat guy. So she'd walk by herself, but she couldn't walk with me. So that's another story I have about fraternities. There's a story my dad tells about fraternities. He had a good friend, and if I miss a point during the tapping, we'll catch it next time. It's not a big deal. But he had a friend that pledged to a fraternity, and as part of the initiation, they took a paddle and they beat him until he bled. So after he had passed that ordeal by fire, they invited him to join the fraternity. And he said, "No, thank you. You don't get to beat my ass and call me brother. I just wanted to see if I could take it." And I could take it. And so he didn't join the fraternity. So I have a real mixed emotions about fraternities, especially fraternities that foster bigotry. I don't think bigotry has a place at a university. Uh, I don't think bigotry has a place in our society, but people do have their First Amendment rights, and they can exercise them ever how they wish. But there are consequences. One of those consequences is being kicked out of your fraternity and being kicked out of your sorority. So I'm going to use this as a lesson to rededicate myself to the brotherhood of mankind, not just a frat or a frat house. Okay, so having tapped on that, I feel a little bit better. On the same vein, I'm still upset about Ferguson, Missouri. There again, there seems to be a little bit of progress there. I'm grateful that people are being held to account for abusing and mistreating and oppressing poor people of color. So I'm just going to release and let go all the negative emotions I have about that. Just going to release and let go, release and let go, release and let go. I affirm that a new day is dawning in Ferguson and in other cities all across the nation, where freedom and justice can begin to flourish, and people can have an equal opportunity to achieve the American dream. Because that's what it's all about. It's not about hating people. It's not about hurting people. It's not about holding people down. It's not about giving someone a ticket and then doubling or tripling it so they can't pay for it, or to make them, in effect, a slave, a debtor. I thought we learned that lesson, but evidently we haven't. There was a study that also kind of bothered me earlier this week. It was a study that said that parents who shower too much love on their children or turning them into spoiled brats and really giving them too much self-esteem, and they grow up to be selfish. Well, first of all, I don't accept the premise. A person that has good self-esteem is not selfish, in my opinion. A person that has good self-esteem is generous, is whole and complete, and doesn't want to not share or keep people from having things. And even if it were true that spoiling your children turns them into selfish brats, that's a better problem to deal with than what a lot of parents do by abandoning their kids or by abusing their kids, and would just create strong patterns of low self-esteem. So I, as a health practitioner, a healing practitioner, I would rather work with someone with too much self-esteem than not enough self-esteem. There's a great Shakespeare quote. I hope I get it right. Self-love, my liege, is not so vile a sin as self-neglect. That was, of course, from Henry V, my favorite Shakespeare play. Okay, let's do another positive affirmation, one that I referenced. I am whole and complete. 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 Peace. Okay, moving right along. I talked about this last week, but I think I've talked about it again. There's something in EFT called psychological reversals, which Robert Smith and Faster EFT does not believe in. But if you're doing an affirmation and the opposite seems to be happening in your life, chances are you've got a psychological reversal. And tapping on the karate chop point renders that moot. It just kills it. And energetically, what that says is there's a circuit in your energy system which is functioning in reverse. You turn the light switch off, but the light comes on. You turn the light on, but the light goes out. That's a reversal. And that's why we will typically start in the karate chop point. You can ask the person a series of questions to find out if they have a psychological reversal, but it's just faster if you just go ahead and assume that there might be one and knock it out. So let me see. Like I said earlier, if there's no interest, I'm going to cut this off at 7:30. Then I'm going to reassess if Thursday night is a good time to do this. So, what else is going on? What else is going on? Oh, I guess I should talk about, which I did not bring, but a lot of times people will have two journals. One journal is called the list, and it is a list of all the problems you want to work with or whatever, procrastination, shyness, whatever you have a block about, you write this on a list, and then every time you tap for one thing on your list, and eventually the list will start to go away. The list may also start to grow because other things will come up. We're actually peeling an onion. We're actually living archaeology sites. And the theory behind that is that every time we have a stress or a trauma, we repress it and we store it someplace in our body. And the EFT is a way to release those trapped emotions. Robert Smith says, emotions buried alive never die. They just come back out in another fashion. And so EFT is a great way. It is a great way to just release the stress, the emotions of today, stress and emotions from way back when or whatever. Then the second journal is a gratitude journal. Every time something happens that you're grateful for, you write down in your journal and you begin to build a track record of success. And on your bad days, you take out your journal and you say, oh yeah, I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for the movie I saw the other night. A movie I saw today, which I'm very grateful for, is the movie Belle. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's a great movie. You should really see it. It's on the cable networks right now. But anyway, it's the story about a little girl who is half white and half black. Her father is a nobleman. Her mother, it's not really said if she's a slave or she's a free black person, but her mother dies when she's young, and the father takes her back to England, where and he puts her with her uncle, his uncle, be her great uncle, who just happens to be the Chief Justice of the English Supreme Court. And he has to decide a case about whether or not slaves should be counted as property or should they be counted as people. And I won't spoil it for you, but it's just a great movie to watch and see. It's about her life living in England and what she and her family do to accommodate English society. It's a great movie. I highly recommend it. Sadly, it is it's just as applicable today as it would have been in the late 1700s, where it is set. Okay, so let me do something a little bit different. I'm going to see if I can pull up the 23rd Psalm. And I'll probably need my glasses for this. Okay, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. Part of my computer is not working right now, which may or may not affect the broadcast. Okay, now I think I'm ready. This is well, I think I'll tap with my glasses on just to show you that you can tap with your glasses on. This is the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Peace. As you can tell, there's not necessarily a right or a wrong way to tap. There's just the way that works for you. And you watch me, and I don't hit all the points, and not every time. So, but it's still very, very effective. It's a very, very simple, effective way to heal yourself. And you can even use it on animals. In the Bible, there was a general named General Naaman who was told by the prophet to simply go down to the Jordan River and dip yourself in it 7 times and you would be healed. And the guy said, no, that's too easy. I'm a general. I lead armies in the battle. We have to have all these complex plans and battle strategies and everything. That's too easy. Well, he finally did it, and he was healed. And EFT is a simple way to heal you and to make you feel better and to become creative and all those things that I talked about at the beginning. Well, we're coming to the end of the broadcast. Like I say, I'm going to abbreviate due to the lack of interest. So I'm going to have to rejigger this and see if Thursday night is a bad time because of my studio and what's going on outside my studio. And also, maybe it's TV night. So for a lot of folks. So I think I'm going to sign off now. So like I always say, always remember to tap early, tap often, and tap on everything. Thank you and good night.